The world has been changing at a very rapid pace in 2020 so far, and with this turbulence comes an opportunity for reflection and change in thinking and systems for how we move forward. At a micro level, I've personally learned many lessons over these past few months by taking a lot of time for self-reflection and how I want to consciously live from here on out. So one thing that's come up repeatedly is how I've made decisions in the past and how those decisions have resulted with such contrast based on the drive behind them. So even more so recently, as I've been navigating these times, I found that a singular mantra has helped provide clarity at the root of every decision that I make. Actions that I've taken based on love versus fear. Hello, I'm Victoria Chemko, founder of Umami Marketing and Umami Journeys. It's really easy to get caught up in a cycle of reactivity, worry, and negative thinking, which originates from our evolution as a species to survive, and the tendency to go into fight or flight mode. The greater challenge seems to arise when a situation takes place, and we must take a step back, objectively review and understand what's happening, and then act from a more secure, grounded, and loving place. So this is a topic that I've pondered a lot while observing and resting for for 2 months during the quiet part of the quarantine days recently, but also during the days leading up to it based off of various crazy circumstances and relationships in my life that have come together in very interesting ways. So generally speaking, when something amazing has happened to me, it's become almost an inside joke. So you'll often hear me saying, "Life is so funny," and then explaining that story. And it's usually been a result of acting for love versus from fear. So here are a few of my thoughts. Abundance, abundance, abundance. So one of my core values is abundance, which to me means knowing that the universe has my back and will always provide in one way or another exactly how it's meant to. So now this isn't something that came easily to me at all, as I grew up experiencing a lot of lack, not knowing what was possible, but trying to survive as best as I could. So for a long time into my adult years, I would spend so much energy worrying about the littlest things, about not having enough, about not being enough, or that I wouldn't be able to find a way if I needed something. But what I started to notice along my journey was that whenever I really needed something to happen, and once I fully let go and put my trust in it, things would just fall into place. So now don't get me wrong, I wasn't taking my hands off the steering wheel. I've always tackled life leading with intent and proactively putting my energy into the world. But I stopped focusing so much on what I didn't have and more on what I did. So this has helped along in my current daily routine of showing gratitude, to remind myself of all that exists in the world that provides. Where attention goes, energy flows. So to add to that, what I've found is that either way, if you're thinking of what bad things could happen to you, or on the flip side, all the good things that could happen to you, you'll create that reality. So, for example, have you ever worried yourself sick about something until it actually happened? Or have you dreamed of something you wanted so badly that you took all of the steps to focus on it until it came to be? So there are two sides to every coin, and either way, you're in charge of creating your life in the direction that you're moving in. Decisions made easier. So one of the more difficult decisions that I had to make recently was whether or not I was going to stay on my favorite island in the world, in Thailand, or make my way back to Vancouver, Canada to ride out the pandemic, when I realized that this wasn't going to be a short-term thing and maybe going back to LA wasn't my best option. So I realized, of course, that this decision comes from a place of great privilege, and I don't take that for granted for a moment, trust me. So my focus though was to pay attention to what was preferable for me based on my love for that direction, and not out of fear because I was worried something could happen to me. So thoughts ran through my head of all sorts, like what if we run out of supplies on this island, there's no food, or what if I can't get medical help or leave at some point and I'm literally stuck here for the long term, even though it's gorgeous there, natural would be my second choice right now after the fact. But what I also knew was that I wanted to go towards what I loved, my family, my close friends, and I had a FaceTime call with my then 1-year-old nephew. It was his birthday, and I saw him lean towards my face on the screen to kiss me through the screen, and I knew immediately in that instant that I wanted to go back. I felt so much more at peace with that decision, knowing that I was doing it out of love towards my family versus running away or moving in the opposite direction out of fear. Heart-centered action. So from here, to me, the possibilities really are endless. Focusing on forward motion towards love and joy seems to always lead to the best results for me, or at least the best journey, which is what matters most. to me anyway. So even if things don't turn out the way that you would hope or expect at a given time, I feel that my experiences have really shown me that the place where these types of decisions are coming from have only propelled me towards what's in the best interest of not only myself, but others in all aspects of my life, be it business, relationships, travel, and everything in between. Life, to me, is a compilation of all of these things. So to summarize, for my mantra of making decisions for love versus fear, to me this is all about abundance, abundance, abundance. Where attention goes, energy flows, decisions made easier, and heart-centered action. So now it's your turn. What's one decision you've made recently where you've chosen to move towards love rather than away from fear? And how did that turn out for you? If you acted due to lack, how could you have shown up and made that decision for love instead? And what would lead you to noticing your own moments of life is so funny? Thanks again for joining me on my journey, and I'll be back again here soon to continue to learn, share, and grow with you.